Howdy. Thank you so much, everybody. Well, welcome to the second Prime Pursuits Summit. Our role at Prime Pursuits is to source, procure, develop, and deliver the feeder cattle for the Walmart program. In doing so, we need the assistance of our producers, backgrounders, feed yards, and we provide them the information and the tools to be more efficient and to meet Walmart's robust sustainability goals. To deliver the Walmart customer with the delicious eating experience at every meal, we must be responsible in how we source and procure the right Angus cattle. Since the start of the program, we have worked with more than 2,000 ranches across 31 states. And since the inception of the procurement program, Prime Pursuits has purchased more than 1.2 million head of Angus cattle. Once sourced and procured, the responsibility of developing the cattle begins. This phase allows us to apply one of the most dynamic strengths of our program. We call it Prime Intelligence, or PI. PI helps our entire supply chain turn data into real solutions on a variety of fronts.
We have so much to unpack. We're going to talk about where we are in the supply chain and all that we're doing. You're going to hear some new initiatives. You're going to hear from producers. You're going to hear from backgrounders. You're going to hear from feed yard folks and how we're all coming together and how we're all doing this together. And it's just so powerful. Some of you have not had a chance to meet consumers. And so we thought, you know what? Let's remind ourselves why we're all here today, what we're doing, why we're working so hard to do what we do. And that is for the consumer, to deliver amazing Black Angus beef to the Walmart customer in the Southeast.
First of all, I'm Jeremy Webb from Atlanta, Georgia. Like you mentioned, thank you for having me today. I'm so honored to be in the room with all the ranchers that make McLaren Farm Steak possible. And I wanted to really thank Prime Pursuits. I want to thank Walmart for being innovative, for really changing the industry and making an opportunity for regular folks like me to have premium beef at an everyday low price. One thing you have done for me is you ruined going to a steakhouse because there's no reason to do it anymore. I get better beef at my house with my family, with my loved ones. And that's something that's really important to me.
So Jeremy, there's someone here that I think could speak for a lot of us that would like to thank you. There's a producer that lives in Nebraska who has never seen a product in the meat case and never met a customer. Lydia Vinton O'Brien, do you mind coming out and telling Jeremy thank you? Lydia Vinton O'Brien, everyone.
So Jeremy, I know you were thanking all of us, but I would like to thank you because really you're the reason that we do all of this for, and kind of that external validation. I love hearing that. One of the really cool things I think to think about is that my ranch is, I think around 1,200, maybe 1,300 miles away from Atlanta. But the beef that we put on our table every single day that we feed to our family is the same beef that Jeremy is feeding to his family. And I'm sure most of you, or a lot of you, are even further away from Atlanta or the southeast part of the United States. But really, it's the same quality that everybody gets in this program, regardless if you're buying beef with the McLaren Farms label in Walmart, or if you're putting it on the table for your families from your own freezer.
Every decision we make, every conversation we have is how do we serve the customer better? How do we give them access to the best Angus steak at an everyday low price? Who are we? We are a vertically aligned community. Vertically aligned, not integrated. This is not owned and operated by one person or one entity. Folks, this is a coordination and collaboration of thousands of folks across America. Thousands of folks that are aligned in people and process, but most importantly, we're aligned in purpose. Aligned in the purpose to serve customers like Jeremy that great Angus beef at an everyday low price. This community is synchronized and, as I said, stronger than it ever has been before. Folks, this community, all those dots and all the people that work to connect those dots and are working behind the scenes of those dots, this community together, working together, has been able to ship over 415 million pounds of McLaren Farms beef. An accomplishment that has taken a tremendous amount of collaboration and coordination amongst all the stakeholders. As Bob mentioned, we're looking for ways to improve red meat yield and lower our cost of production. So we mentioned the use of Experior and implementing implants at the feed yard level. The specification with you all does not change. We buy the best from the best. And then we led with rancher stories, these 26 stories. And what we were able to find is that when the customer saw your story, saw the story of the American rancher, it increased the favorability of Walmart by over 82%. For 2023, this community working together, helping folks live better, was able to create 12,000 jobs and generate $1.8 billion in economic impact to the United States economy. That money is flowing through you, through your operations, and through your local communities, and multiplying the United States economy by $1.8 billion. See, with that, you cannot tell the story of America without telling the story of the American rancher.
There's probably two words that describe Prime Pursuits and the community, or the group that we have here. You've heard one of them several times already. You're going to hear another one this afternoon. And those two words are community and team. And those words do a great job of describing what we do here. The supply chain that we have is the lifeblood of the program. And you, producers, and the horsepower you have in your genetics is what sets this program apart.
But again, I just want to tell you all thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. It's making a huge difference, and we'll get into that here in a minute.
From Jeremy back to the ranchers. The disconnect in this industry has been probably the biggest downfall of the beef industry, right? And what we're doing with Prime Pursuits and the Walmart team and all of the producers in this room, the customers that we serve, we want you to remember, and I think, I've talked about it before, and I'd say after this morning, you certainly understand now that our customer is your customer. And the thank yous that are happening are only because of what Walmart and Prime Pursuits has done with everyone in this room's help. And that's what the Secure Beef Supply is helping us do. The traceability, I take it to you can take it many places beyond the surety supply piece. I look at it from a producer standpoint, and the performance data and things that we're able to share back all the way through the supply chain back to you individual producers, and helps you make management decisions on your individual operations that only betters Walmart and all of our customers. So the traceability piece of this is just, it's monumental. We're all one large team that's working for the same goal, and that's supplying the highest quality beef in America at an everyday low price to our customers.
I'm going to show you some data of what we went through in the 1980s and the 1990s. This industry was flailing. We had no direction. We had zero connectivity with the customer. So what we're seeing here today is really unprecedented. So don't take it for granted. I'm going to show you some data I think you're going to enjoy. We're winning share of wallet. Why are we winning share of wallet? You've just seen it demonstrated here on stage this morning. Why is the beef industry doing that? Because we have programs like Prime Pursuit that is driving higher quality and consistency throughout the supply chain. And the consumer is responding. The only place we get new dollars into our markets, this is really important. The only place we get new dollars into our markets is through the consumer. and they get a chance to vote every day.
The current CEO of Walmart is Doug McMillon. I've known Doug. Doug grew up in the Bentonville area, went to the University of Arkansas. While he was going to school, he worked summertime in the logistics supply chain of Walmart. Came up through that, and today, Walmart has over 2 million employees, and Doug is the CEO of Walmart. So help me welcome Doug McMillon.
First, let me say thank you to you, Bob. We've had a relationship for years now, and working with Walmart's not always easy. The bar's high, and there are challenges, and things change, and we appreciate how you and your team continue to figure this out with us. And thank you to all of you for doing the same thing and for letting us have a few minutes to come and talk to you today. I'm really excited to be here and honored to be here. I knew there was change in this business, but I've been really surprised at how much. There's so much innovation. I mean, you know, ranching's been part of history for so many years, but you guys are still figuring out things and making cool things happen, and I certainly respect that. I don't know about everybody's house, but at our house, when we have a good steak, somebody almost always asks where'd that come from. Nobody's asked me where a Bounty paper towel comes from. But a steak special, there's something about it, and when you have a good one, you remember it.
Great teams. What makes the great teams great? Why are some teams, organizations, companies capable of being best in class year after year after year? Why do some do it while others rise and fall? As I kept asking the question, there was one team that kept coming up in the conversation. One team that I would argue is the greatest collection of talent ever to wear the same jersey. Officially, they were known as the 1992 USA men's national basketball team, Barcelona Olympics. But we all know them as the Dream Team, right? See, 3 years earlier, the International Olympic Committee had actually changed its rules, allowing every country in the world to bring its best talent to the Olympics. It did not matter if they were professionals or amateurs.
When I stood on the stage at the summit a year ago, I told you that I hoped that someday cow-calf producers would be able to log into Pi so that they could have that data at their fingertips. 367 days ago, that seemed like a really tall order, but today it's a reality. I want to show you what we've been working on.
Introducing the Prime Intelligence Producer Portal, your personalized toolkit designed to enhance herd management and genetic selection. Within Pi is where you'll find all your analytics, contracts, DNA, information on your partnership with 44 farms, and of course your individual animal data. So whether you're on a laptop or on the go with your mobile phone, the power of Pi is always at your fingertips. Sign up for access to Prime Intelligence and gain insights today.
So what do you guys think? So this is a big day for us. We've been working on this feverishly for 6+ months, and I'm so excited to be able to release it to you today.
And we think that this is changing the industry because we're putting this data back in your hands. Prime Intelligence is that solution. It is your way of having this information in your hands at all times. So when you have a question about what's happening with your calves, you can answer it. All you have to do is send us your bulls, your bull DNA, and your calf DNA. And what we can do is we'll do the DNA analysis, and we'll run the analysis and report back through the Prime Intelligence portal, producer portal, and we can actually deliver you information on any level of your bulls and rank them by any of the feeder calf metrics. Meaning that if you want to know which one of your bulls produced the heaviest carcass, you can do that.
Since the day that we joined Prime Pursuits back in 2018, it was then I realized that Bob McLaren, had a blueprint and a team assembled, that was designed not letting the Milldale Ranch fail. And I'm here to tell you, and that alone is reassuring nowadays. That you don't get that. In the industry. And I can tell you right now that being part of this team with Prime Pursuits and the crew that, the Milldale Ranch is It's not failing. It is thriving. We have become more efficient, more sustainable, and even more profitable. And it just feels like after we've been ranching for 140 years, it does feel like we're just getting started.
My husband and I are trying to move forward in really building those genetics, and 44 and Prime Pursuits and everybody here has helped us do that from the very beginning. We started out with a cold call that my dad made to Doug Slattery and Bob McLaren, just saying, "Hey, we found you online and we have Black Angus cattle. Maybe we could be a part of something with you." And they're like, "I think you're exactly the fit that we're looking for." And
we started out in this talk this morning about trust and hard work. Hard work really for all of us is pretty easy because that's what we do. We all believe in it. Trust is a little bit tougher to build on. It takes time, and I don't believe trust is given in 5 minutes. I think it's earned, and it takes a lot of time. Well, they've earned my trust here. I just challenge everyone to really look at 44 Farms, McLaren Farms, at what's going on here because they are the real deal.
Since then, we've been buying the 44 bulls. We always thought our cattle were good. I believe that they've become even better now. Calves are big, yearlings are big. Carcass data is great. From there, I was just getting excited, wanting to do more, and that's when Warren said, something big is coming. And I would always tell him, whatever it is, I want to be a part of it.
It's fun to see customers and consumers all the way down the supply chain to know that we're creating a premium product and that it's appreciated and we're getting rewarded for it.
Warren and his team came to visit us several years ago and kind of laid out the vision of what Prime Pursuits could be and wanted to know if we would be a part in it. And I just remember our team gathering when they left and said, "That sounds really hard, but it sounds really worth doing." And so, look, starting from scratch the way we did first generation, we've always had to be progressive and be willing to try new things and take some risk. And just really proud to be a part of the team, thankful for the opportunity to be one of the feed yards that's a part of it. And really do think that this is the future. This industry is going to have to continue to change to be relevant. And man, I'm just glad to be a part of this group because I think it's the answer to a lot of the problems that we face going forward.
This business is different than it was for our parents, and it'll be different for our children and grandchildren. But always know what your goal is, and are you willing to work towards the prize of achieving that goal? Just like Walmart's vision we mentioned this morning, this goal is worth following. I believe that through God's grace, we can do this together.
The Prime Intelligence system is absolutely one of the most incredible streamlined data collection systems that I've ever seen. I've got a whole briefcase here full of cow books, one a year, where we've been keeping this kind of data on our Black Angus commercial herd. And honestly, this Prime Intelligence is going to take this to another level.